Hello and welcome. My name is Gavin Reid and I'm from the Department of Actuarial Mathematics and Statistics. That's within the School of Mathematical and Computer Sciences at Heriot-Watt University. I'm going to give you an overview of the undergraduate degree programmes that we offer within the department. Just to tell you a little bit about me, I'm an associate professor within the department. I'm also a qualified actuary, and I'm also a graduate of the undergraduate degree, the BSc in Actuarial Science. And I'll bring all of that to bear a little bit as I talk through the degree programmes. So what will we cover? Well, first of all, we'll talk about the degree programmes that we offer in conjunction with what you can do with those degrees. I'll then talk in a bit of detail about the content of the programmes and then give you some ideas why we feel Heriot-Watt, and in particular our department, is a great place for you to come and study. And I'll finish off with a bit of information about the entry requirements for the programmes. So first of all, what degrees do we offer? What can you do with them? Well, we offer a number of honours degree programmes. We've got our 4-year BSc in Actuarial Science, our 4-year BSc in Financial Mathematics, and our 4-year BSc in Statistical Data Science. In addition, we've also got a 5-year programme. That's our BSc in Actuarial Science with a 1-year extra diploma in Industrial Training. I'll talk a little bit more about the content of that extra year a little bit later on. Our actuarial programmes tend to be our most popular, and I'll focus a bit about what the job of an actuary, that career, actually involves in just a few minutes. But first of all, just to think a little bit about our BSc in Financial Mathematics and what that leads to. So that's suitable for those of you who might be interested in being a kind of engineer in a financial context. So that's creating, designing financial products, particularly in the fields of banking and investment banking. So that could be, for example, derivatives like options and swaps, for example. Our BSc in Statistical Data Science focuses on this growing field of data analytics. There's a lot of data and information around us in the world today, and it's really all about how we can best analyse that data and draw conclusions from it, which is what that degree programme focuses on. As I mentioned, though, our actuarial programmes tend to be our most popular, and I'll talk about this career of an actuary now in a little bit more detail. And first of all, what is an actuary? Well, for me, there's 4 main aspects of the job. At least traditionally, actuaries work with people's money, so in the fields of finance, like insurance and pensions, for example. Although actuaries are moving into wider fields these days, for example, climate change. What do we do in these areas? Well, we look into the future, really to try to predict what might happen in the future, and in particular, the risks which might impact the field of work that we're interested in. But unlike a fortune teller who uses a crystal ball, we try to be a little bit more scientific in doing so by using maths and in particular statistics. And the final element of the job is this idea of being a bit of a kind of financial superhero, if you like. What we're really trying to do is protect money, protect the money of the customers of the companies that we work for, but also protect the security of the companies as well to make sure that they don't go bankrupt. So those are the 4 kind of big elements of the job. The fields of finance, although moving into wider fields these days, predicting the future and in particular risks that might occur, using maths and statistics in order to protect people and their money. And why might you consider becoming an actuary? Well, I think there's a few main reasons. And first of all, every year a company called CareerCast does a survey of what they term the best jobs in the world. Now, they look at a range of different aspects of a whole lot of different professions. For example, salary, work environment, stress, projected growth. And from that, they produce a list of what they call the best jobs in the world. And almost every year, without fail, in the last decade, an actuary has been in the top 10 on that list. And in fact, 3 times in the last decade, an actuary has been the #1 ranked job on that list, which I think says a lot about the profession. What attracted me to the job was that I loved maths at school. I was a bit of a maths geek, but I also loved problem solving and puzzles. So it could be anything from crosswords, Sudoku, for example, logic problems. I also loved and still do love actually escape rooms, where you get locked in a room for an hour and you need to solve a whole series of puzzles in order to get out. And for me, the role of an actuary really brings together those two aspects of maths and problem solving, which really appeal to me and which I hope might appeal to some of you as well. Another advantage of the job, and it's certainly not the only reason to do a job, but it's a big positive, is that the money's pretty good. So the average starting salary for an actuary in the UK, fresh from university, so a graduate trainee, is round about just under £33,000. So a pretty good starting salary. And as I'll mention later, in order to qualify as an actuary, you need to pass a series of professional exams. And for each exam you pass, typically that will mean an increment to your salary, which could start to go up actually quite steeply as you start to pass those exams. But maybe the most important aspect of the job is that, well, as I've mentioned, actuaries look into the future and try to anticipate risks associated with the areas of work that they're involved in. And measuring those risks and thinking about how to manage those risks is a big aspect of the job. And I think there's a lot of uncertainty and risk around us in the world today. We see that at the moment with the COVID-19 pandemic that's going on, but also in other areas of risk as well facing the world, like climate change and terrorism. And actuaries are experts in measuring and managing risks in all these kinds of areas and can provide expertise in doing so. So while we can't predict the future, I would like to think that the job security of an actuary going forward is going to remain pretty positive. So that's the types of roles that you might get involved in through doing our degrees. Where do people tend to work once they've graduated? Well, you can see a number of the different companies in which our graduates have worked in the past here. Some of these might not be too surprising. So some of the big financial players in the market, for example. Others might be a little bit more surprising. So, for example, actuaries and statisticians can provide expertise to bookmakers in setting their betting odds that involve statistics. And governments also have a lot of statistical and actuarial expertise in managing the population statistics, for example. And one thing I was a little bit concerned about in deciding whether to study at Heriot-Watt myself was, am I perhaps narrowing down my options a little bit too much by doing this degree? So if I don't want to be an actuary or a statistician at the end of the day, is there going to be an issue? And I really feel, having gone through the process myself, that that's not the case. What we're really trying to do is develop skills in applying maths in a particular context with you. And that context tends to be a financial one on, for example, our actuarial courses. But if you decide that that's not for you at the end of the day, it should be very easy for you to take those skills and go and apply maths in a different area. For example, we've had some of our graduates go and work as engineers, in marine biology, statistical units, for example, also as maths teachers. So I really do feel that through the skills that we try to develop in you, the world kind of is your oyster, if you like, in terms of how you would like to use those skills that you've developed in the future. So that's a little bit about the programs and what you can do with them. what about the content of the degree programmes themselves? What do you actually study? So the first couple of years is essentially pretty common to all of the degree programmes that we offer. In first year, we really try to build the fundamental maths that you'll need later in your degree programme, building on what you've hopefully already had some experience of studying towards at school. So there are courses in calculus, for example, some basic statistics courses. And as I'll talk about in a little while, there's also the opportunity to gain exemptions from those professional actuarial exams that I mentioned earlier. And you start to study towards those exemption subjects right from the very start, from first year, in the economics and finance and financial reporting courses that you take. Something else that we consider to be really important in terms of your employability is that employers are not just looking for a degree these days. They're looking for individuals who are well-rounded with a whole lot of other skills besides. So that could be communication, teamwork, management, problem solving, for example. And we really try to build those skills in you right from the very start. And one way we do that is through, in first year, our professional development planning course. So in that course, there's the opportunity, for example, to get some business awareness and problem solving experience. There's the opportunity to do some research into the financial sector and give a presentation to your peers on what you find out. And something we focus on throughout the degree is applying the theory that you learn in class in real world practical situations. And that's through using applications, for example, spreadsheet work like Excel, and also the statistical package R. And you get experience in building your skills in those right from the very start on that professional development planning course. Moving on to second year, we start to build on the skills that you've learnt in first year in relation, for example, to calculus, real analysis, algebra, numerical analysis. But we also start to tailor the mathematics and statistics to your areas of interest. So through our actuarial and financial maths courses and our probability and stats courses as well. And in the later years, there's the opportunity to specialise, depending on what degree programme you're in and what areas you'd like to develop your expertise in. So, for example, on our actuarial science programmes, there's the opportunity to take courses in life insurance maths, risk theory, pensions, for example. On our financial maths degree, you can focus on derivative markets, portfolio theory, financial economics. And on our statistical data science degree, there are courses in machine learning, so automating the analysis of data, as well as a number of statistics courses as well. So while the first couple of years are relatively common between the courses, and that means that you can change between the degree programmes if you decide perhaps that a different one is for you, there's the opportunity really to specialise in those latter couple of years, depending on your field of interest. So that's the content of our degree programmes. Why do we think that Heriot-Watt and our department is a great place to study? Well, one big aspect of our degree programmes, as I alluded to, is that they offer exemptions from professional exams. And these professional exams are the ones that you need to take in order to qualify as a fully fledged actuary. And they're run by the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries. So that's the actuarial professional body in the UK. And we are one of only just a few universities in the UK to be what's called accredited by the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries. And that means that we can offer, both on an individual basis and en masse, the opportunity to gain exemptions from the maximum number of professional exams possible from an undergraduate degree programme. Now, in order to qualify as an actuary, you need to pass 13 different exams in total. And through the exemptions available from our degree, there's the opportunity to pick up a maximum of 6 of those exemptions. As I say, that's the maximum available from an undergraduate degree, and that would get you almost halfway to qualification. Now, there's a couple of advantages to these exemptions. So having gone through this process myself, I was lucky enough to gain full exemptions when I studied at Heriot-Watt and then went to work in industry. And in order to study towards the professional exams, you need to do that alongside your work after you graduate. And typically, you might need to do a full day's work and then go home and open the books and do some studying towards your professional exams. And that can be tough. It can be tricky to motivate yourself to do that. So I think that anything that you can do to make your working life easier in that respect is a great incentive. And in order to be almost partway qualified through the exemptions that we offer on the degree programme, that can drastically cut down the amount of time that it takes you to qualify, and therefore the amount of time that you'll have to study alongside your work when you start working, which I think is a really big positive. In addition, some companies will also give you an increment to your starting salary for every one of those exemptions that you've picked up. So there's a kind of financial incentive there as well. In addition to the exemptions that we offer through the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries, we also have close contacts with the American equivalent. So that's the Society of Actuaries, the actuarial profession in the USA. And we are very proud to have been awarded what's called the SOA's Centre of Actuarial Excellence in relation to the quality of the teaching and the research that we carry out within the department. We're one of only 33 university departments globally to be given this Centre of Actuarial Excellence. And we were the first, and as yet, as far as we know, still the only university department in Europe to be awarded this accolade. So it's something that we're very proud of. And in addition, we're also accredited by the Royal Statistical Society, which I would hope is really good testament to both the quality, but also the quality of the statistics contained within our degree programmes. Something I'm very proud of working at Heriot-Watt are my colleagues, and I would hope that you would feel that we're a really friendly, available bunch of people who you could come to if you had questions or issues at any time, really. Something that's common across Heriot-Watt is that when you join us, you'll be designated a member of academic staff who will be your personal tutor. So that's a single academic member of staff who's a contact throughout your whole time at university and who you can approach and who will meet you regularly in order to talk about any issues that you might have during your time at the university. Also, in relation to us within the department and the staff, we have a lot of expertise and specialism within the department, which we really try to bear in the expertise on our courses. Our department is one of the oldest actuarial departments in the world. We've got over 40 years of experience, and we've got a number of experts in lots of different areas. So there are a number of actuaries like myself within the department. We also have experts in statistics who do research in a whole range of different areas. And we also have expertise in other areas as well. So, for example, risk management. And as I say, we really do try to bring that to bear in the courses that we teach. So, for example, myself, having worked previously in life insurance, I try to give examples of the kind of problems that I've had to solve during my time in the workplace in the courses that I teach. For those individuals who undertake expertise, and we have a lot of that within the department in research, they really try again to bring that to bear in the courses that are taught as well. And one key area of research that we have is actuarial research through close links in our research with the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries. As I mentioned, there's also the opportunity to apply the theory that you learn in kind of real life practical problem solving using software, in particular that statistical package R and Excel spreadsheet work, but also in later years in other programming languages if you desire to as well. For example, Python is available. We also have close links with the financial sector and great job prospects. So we've built up links with many organisations and companies over the years, both in terms of who we've worked with and who our students worked with as well. And we typically, from year to year, have a number of presentations from employers to our students in terms of perhaps actuaries talking about their own experience and the job opportunities available within their companies, for example. And a number of financial organisations also sponsor prizes for the best performing students on our courses. I mentioned earlier that there's the opportunity to do the 4-year BSc with the additional 1-year diploma in industrial training. So this involves doing a work placement in industry for that 1 year, that extra year, and that's typically the penultimate year. So between, if you like, your 3rd and 4th year of studies. Although we don't guarantee a placement for you and we don't find it specifically for you individually, we do offer a lot of help in finding that placement, particularly through our amazing career service, which gives loads of advice in terms of applications and assessment centres, for example. And we also advertise placements with companies that we have close relationships with as well. So you complete the placement as part of the diploma, but in addition, there are some contact points with academic staff throughout the year, and you're also asked to complete a series of reflective assignments to show that you understand what you're learning about through the work you're completing during the placement and the skills that you're developing. And all of that together can lead to that additional 1-year add-on, if you like, that additional qualification, the diploma in industrial training. There are also opportunities to study abroad, and there should be the caveat here that obviously that's a little bit dependent on what happens with the pandemic going forward. But you may be aware that we have a campus in Malaysia, and our BSc in Actuarial Science runs on our Malaysia campus. It's exactly the same degree programme as we offer in Edinburgh, exactly the same course material and exactly the same assessment, which means that actually it's very easy to move between the campuses. So to go and study in Malaysia for a semester or even a longer period of time, if that's something that interests you. We also have agreements with partner universities who offer actuarial programmes as well. And there's the opportunity to go and study for a year in either the University of Melbourne in Australia or the University of Waterloo in Canada for a number of students as well. So great opportunities to potentially study abroad. We also have a fantastic Students' Actuarial Society. So this is a society which is run by our students for our students. They run a whole lot of different events through the year, both academic, so employer presentations, mock assessment centre, for example, and non-academic as well, social events. But their big kind of flagship event every year is in February when they hold their annual actuarial conference. So this attracts speakers from around the country and sometimes beyond who talk about hot topics in finance. And attendees are not only our students, but in addition to that, industry experts as well, like actuaries, who attend to hear the talks in order to contribute to their knowledge and also their continuous professional development as well. One other thing that we're very proud of within the department are the ratings that we have, particularly from our students. And one example of that is in the most recent National Student Survey from this year, based on the responses from full-time graduating students, undergraduate students. In terms of overall student satisfaction and statistics, which really covers our Department of Actuarial Maths and Statistics, we're very proud to be ranked 1st in Scotland and 4th in the UK. So that's something that we're exceptionally proud of, and we hope really is a testament to the quality of the programmes that we offer in terms of the feedback that our students have provided. So hopefully that gives you a wide range of ideas why we feel Heriot-Watt and our department is a great place to study. So just to finish, a word about the entry requirements for our degree programmes. It's possible to gain entry into first year or also direct entry into second year for those who have the prerequisites. And for first year entry, the standard entry requirements in terms of Scottish Highers are 3 A's and a B. And in terms of A levels, we're looking for 2 A's and a B. In order to gain direct entry into second year, we're looking for Scottish Advanced Highers, 2 A's and a B, and a good set of higher results. And in terms of A levels, 3 A's. And in all of those scenarios, we're looking for you to have maths at A grade. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an overview of the degree programmes that we offer. I've talked about what those are and what you can do with our degree programmes, the content of the degrees, and why we feel Heriot-Watt and our department could be a great place for you to study, finishing off with some information about the entry requirements. So thank you very much for listening. If you have any particular questions that weren't answered in this video that you'd like to ask us, please feel free to email us at studywithus@hw.ac.uk. Thanks again for listening, and hopefully we'd love to see you studying with us in future. Bye for now.